Good day, everyone. It's Dean. I'm hoping this video will come out okay. It's kind of noisy in my car. I don't have the quietest car, so I'm hoping it'll be alright. But I had a couple thoughts, and the thoughts revolve around the Atari VCS, the ever-popular subject lately. And I think a lot of what I've been seeing has been just videos that are really, really negative. And they have every right to be. The system, take it with the facts that people are presenting does seem like it is fake. There's only renderings, and it was showing gameplay that was, not actually on the system, etc., etc. So I think what we have here is something that is interesting, and it's kind of like an old school business thing. You have a guy that is, for all intents and purposes, a marketing person. He bought the name Atari, and let me roll back for a second. So Atari that brought us the original VCS in 1977, which became the original 2600, which stuck around until the late 80s. They brought the 5200, the Lynx, the 7800, etc., the Jaguar, the two. That Atari that made that stuff doesn't exist anymore. Okay, Atari, as it is now, is a name on paper, and that's honestly all it is. You have intellectual property from Atari that, in the form of their games, a Centipede and Yard's Revenge, I think it's Atari's, and a few others, and that's what you have left. Atari, in its form now, is selling nostalgia. They're selling games. I have game discs at my house that are from Taco Bell that have Atari games on them. So that's what you're looking at for the true original Atari. $1.99 Taco Bell games. That's it. That's what the original Atari is. So anything that's got the name plastered on it now is not Atari. They're fully going for nostalgia. So the guy running the show, I forget his name. It doesn't matter right now. I can't look it up. The guy running the show right now, he's a marketing guy. He's trying to market a product with the name. This is not something new. If you look at a good example as Westinghouse. Westinghouse makes crappy-ish bargain TVs. That Westinghouse has nothing to do with the original George Westinghouse from the late 1800s, early 1900s, that worked with Nikola Tesla to develop ace electricity. It's a name. So what we're looking at now with this new VCS is, for all intents and purposes, it's a Roku box streaming device with the name Atari plastered on it, and an Xbox One-ish controller that's painted to look like an Atari controller, and then another controller that does look like an Atari controller. That's what we're looking at. So, call it what you will. Call it an Ouya, a Flare top, Flare set-top box, whatever other failed game streaming services there have been. And those services did fail, but those services were a few years ago, and the landscape has changed dramatically since then. Download games are a really big deal now, even on home consoles. So I'd like to now look at maybe a positive of this. Positive look at what we could see, maybe, from this new Atari. What could there be? And, ported games that are good games. If Sony can do it where you can stream games that are, that's what their purpose is to stream games, maybe this device can do that too. Maybe, they're saying they're touting some fancy AMD processor, 4K, 60 frames a second. If the device can truly do that, let's say if it can really do that, something that cool, it's not a bad idea. The price, though, gets me. It's what is it? And correct me, and again, I'm driving, so I'm going by off the top of my head. What, $200, $300? I don't plan on buying one right away at all. I'm not supporting any kind of crowdfunding. I don't do that as a personal thing. But if it works out, that would be really great. And for all other purposes, if this console really is just starting out, if you look at something that isn't crowdfunded, so with it be crowdfunded, you have to, you want to produce pictures and, what would be nice to be a prototype that actually works. You need to show something. But say if this was not crowdfunded, if this company had enough money to do this all on their own, and it was at the very, very beginning stages, and they were showing internal investors. They were, some marketing team in the company. They were showing this to their bosses and saying, hey, this is our idea, it's going to look like this, it's going to play games that look like this, and they had the demos running on hardware that it's similar to. That's not a bad thing. And I know I'm going to say, well, that's not what they were doing. They were running a different version of the game. But they were showing an Atari game that, for all purposes, they would want to have on there, which would be, Tempest. Tempest is a fun game. And it is very much an Atari game. So I could definitely see that game being on there. Man, there's a lot of traffic here. And games like that, it updated Tempest, it updated Yar's Revenge, and updated Spider Fighter, other games. I think Spider Fighter's Activision, but still, that would be really nice. That Pac-Man Championship Edition game with the, it's like a rave, turbo super crazy timer mode with the bombs. That'd be fantastic on there. And and if this thing's strong enough, 4 gigs of RAM, and if it can supposedly run at 60 frames a second, what if they put a really popular game like, Fortnite or something like that on there, and you had the price of admission being this device that you just download games to, and some games would be free with, pay to do add-ons, like games like that. The system might not be that bad. If it's real, again, if it's real and not a complete crock. So that's my thoughts on it. I just wanted to add, a little bit of positivity maybe to this and what may come of it. Like everybody else said, it could be just completely fake and never come out, like that Coleco Chameleon thing never came out, which I always wonder if it didn't get the backlash that it did, would it have come out? I don't think it would have. I think that thing was a lost cause. I don't think that was coming out at all. But as far as other stuff goes, if this Atari thing really is real and they've, not just bought someone else's plastic case and put a circuit board in, if they actually, develop the case and have everything else going for it, it might turn out to be a really decent device. So we'll see. As always, guys, this is just my thought. Kind of a crude video. I do apologize. Hopefully the sound's okay. But I will see you guys next time. See ya.